My name is Ryan Mitchell. I travel a lot for work. Trains, airports, subways, you name it. When you spend that much time commuting, you start noticing small things about people. The little shortcuts they take, the tiny rules they decide don't apply to them. Most of the time, I ignore it. But yesterday, someone decided to cut a corner right in front of me. And for once, I had the perfect chance to make sure it didn't work out the way she planned. And honestly, I don't get many of those moments in a normal commute. Yesterday morning, I was in the London Underground, heading towards St. Pancras International to catch my train. If you've ever been through the Underground during rush hour, you know the scene. Crowds everywhere, rolling suitcases clacking across the tile floors, announcements echoing through the tunnels. People walking fast, but somehow still getting in each other's way. And of course, some people walking far too slowly, oblivious to the crowd behind them. I had my own luggage with me, a medium suitcase and my laptop bag slung over one shoulder. Because of the suitcase, I headed toward the wider ticket gate, the one meant for people with baggage. There were already a couple of travelers in front of me doing the same thing. Nothing unusual, just another busy morning commute. Then suddenly, a girl stepped in front of me. Her turquoise suitcase was bright, almost glowing in the dull morning light. It was one of those colors you don't forget. She moved quickly, almost like she had spotted an opportunity. She had a bright turquoise trolley suitcase, the kind that immediately catches your eye in a crowd. At first, I didn't think much of it. Cutting in line happens all the time in big cities. You roll your eyes, maybe sigh a little, and move on. But then I saw what she did next. The traveler in front of her tapped their card. The gate opened, and instead of tapping her own card, she slipped right through behind them. No payment, just a quick step forward, and she was inside. Classic tailgating. I stood there for a second thinking, did she really just do that? Unfortunately, it's not exactly rare. Fare evasion happens more often than people admit. Still, something about how casually she did it bothered me. I noticed the turquoise suitcase again as she disappeared into the moving crowd. Then, it was my turn. I tapped my card, walked through the gate, and muttered quietly, "Great, another person making everyone else pay for it." Very British of me, honestly. A little grumble, and then I carried on. A few stops later, my train pulled into the station where I needed to get off. People stood up quickly, gathering bags and backpacks like it was a race to the doors. I grabbed my suitcase and stepped onto the platform. My mind was already on the next part of my trip. I still needed to make my connection at the Eurostar, so I didn't want to waste time. Transition tone, observation, slower. I followed the signs toward the exit barriers. Same situation as before. Crowds, suitcases, lines forming at the gates. Because of my luggage, I headed toward the wider gate again, and that's when I saw it. Pause. Recognition building. Slow. That same turquoise suitcase, right in front of me. And standing behind it was the same girl. Suspense paused. Disbelief. For a moment, I wasn't sure it was her, but then she turned slightly and I recognized her face from earlier. Observation tone, slow, building tension. She slowed, just slightly, and positioned herself directly behind me. Quiet realization, reflective. That's when it clicked. Pause, internal thought, slow. She wasn't just walking in the same direction, she was lining up behind me. Reflective tone, slow. The same way she had done earlier with someone else. Internal thought, slow. No way, she's trying to do it again. Narrative tone, slow, mischievous. She was clearly planning to tailgate through the exit gate, using me this time. And at that moment, I realized something. I had a choice. slow, playful tone. I could just walk through like normal, ignore it, let her slip through again. Pause, mischievous smile. Or I could make things slightly more complicated for her. Light humor, slow. Nothing dramatic, nothing aggressive, just a little bit inconvenient. Steady storytelling tone, slow, cinematic. I rolled my suitcase forward and reached the gate. I tapped my card, the gate opened, and just as I stepped through, I heard her suitcase wheels right behind me. Low suspense tone, close, really close, probably just a few inches away. Realization tone, calm, but teasing. She was clearly planning to squeeze through before the gate closed. Pause, dramatic beat. But right as I cleared the gate, I suddenly stopped. Completely. Casual tone, slight humor. Right in the middle of the exit. I set my suitcase down, then I started patting my pockets. Muttering tone, slow. Hang on, wallet? Left pocket. Phone? Right pocket. Then passport? Yeah, okay. Sudden sound reaction, slow. Behind me, I heard a sudden thud. The gate snapped shut. Turning tone, calm, slow. I turned slightly, and there she was. Descriptive, slightly amused. Half inside the gate, half outside. Her turquoise suitcase jammed awkwardly against the barrier. Observation tone, slow. She looked stunned, like her plan had just short-circuited. Narrative tone, reflective, human. And walking toward her was a staff member from Transport for London. "Miss, do you have a ticket?" At that point, I figured my job there was done. I picked up my suitcase and walked toward my train. Light amusement, reflective. As I moved away, I could hear her protesting behind me, and let's just say I learned a few new words before I got out of earshot. Final reflective tone. Was it petty? Absolutely. Did it ruin my day? Not at all. In fact, it might have been the most satisfying moment of my commute. Soft ending, slight smile in tone. Because sometimes, people think they're clever for bending the rules, until they run into someone who simply refuses to help them do it.